Ever wonder how a mighty empire, a civilization of astonishing genius, could crumble in the blink of an eye? Today, we journey back in time to the heart of ancient Mexico to uncover the incredible story of the Aztecs, a tale of soaring achievement and a dramatic, devastating fall. Get ready, because the truth is far more complex and fascinating than you might think. The story begins around the 13th century with a nomadic tribe known as the Mexica. According to their legends, their patron god, Huitzilopochtli, gave them a prophecy. They were to build their great city, where they saw an eagle perched on a cactus, devouring a snake. After years of wandering, they found this very sign on a small swampy island in the middle of Lake Texcoco. It was a challenging location, to say the least. But the Mexica were not easily deterred. It was here they founded their capital, the magnificent city of Tenochtitlan. Now, imagine Venice, but grander and built in the middle of a lake in the Americas. That was Tenochtitlan by the early 1500s. It was one of the largest and most sophisticated cities in the world. A complex network of canals served as its streets, plied by thousands of canoes. Towering pyramids and temples dominated the skyline, dedicated to their pantheon of gods. Huge, bustling marketplaces, like the one at Tlatelolco, drew tens of thousands of people daily, offering goods from every corner of their expanding empire. The city was a marvel of engineering and urban planning, a testament to the Aztecs' incredible ingenuity. But how do you feed a city of over 200,000 people built on a lake? This is where another stroke of Aztec genius comes in. These weren't just floating gardens. They were highly productive, man-made agricultural plots. The Aztecs would create rectangular fields by layering mud from the lake bed with decaying vegetation, anchoring them with willow trees. This created incredibly fertile soil that could yield up to 7 harvests a year. This innovative farming system was the backbone of their empire, sustaining a massive population and allowing their culture to flourish. Aztec society was highly structured. At the top was the emperor, or Huitzilopochtli, revered as a near-divine figure. Below him were nobles, priests, and warrior elites. The warrior class was particularly esteemed, as military expansion was the lifeblood of the empire. Through conquest, the Aztecs subjugated surrounding city-states, creating a vast tribute network. These vassal states were required to send goods, food, resources, and even people for sacrifice to Tenochtitlan. This system made the empire incredibly wealthy, but it also sowed the seeds of resentment and instability. Their religious life was intricate and deeply woven into every aspect of their existence. They had a complex calendar system and believed the universe had been created and destroyed 4 times before their current era, the 5th sun. They believed they had a sacred duty to keep the sun alive and the cosmos in balance through rituals, including human sacrifice. While this practice is often sensationalized, to the Aztecs, it was a profound religious obligation, a repayment of the god's own sacrifice in creating the world. These rituals, however, were viewed with horror by outsiders and would later be used as a justification for conquest. In 1519, everything changed. Strange, floating mountains appeared on the horizon. Spanish ships led by Hernan Cortes. The Aztec emperor, Moctezuma II, was unsure of how to react. Were these men, with their pale skin, facial hair, and metal armor, the returning god Quetzalcoatl, as some prophecies foretold? This initial uncertainty allowed Cortes and his small force of about 500 conquistadors to enter Tenochtitlan peacefully. They were awestruck by its grandeur, but their motives were clear: God, gold, and glory. The common story you hear is that a few hundred Spaniards with guns and horses single-handedly toppled an empire of millions. But that's a massive oversimplification. Spanish firepower, their cannons, crossbows, and harquebuses was certainly a shock, as were the armored horses, which the Aztecs had never seen. These things gave the Spanish a psychological and tactical edge in battle, but they were not the decisive factors. The real keys to the Aztec collapse were far more insidious. Remember those disgruntled vassal states? Cortes was a shrewd political operator. He quickly realized the deep-seated hatred many local peoples had for their Aztec overlords. He forged crucial alliances, most notably with the Tlaxcalans, a powerful kingdom that had long resisted Aztec rule. Suddenly, Cortes' small band of conquistadors was reinforced by tens of thousands of elite native warriors, all fighting for their own liberation from Aztec dominance. The conflict wasn't just Spaniards versus Aztecs. It was a massive civil war, expertly exploited by Cortes. But the most devastating weapon the Spanish brought was one they couldn't even see. Unknowingly, they carried European diseases to which the indigenous peoples of the Americas had no immunity. A smallpox epidemic swept through Tenochtitlan with terrifying speed. It was an apocalypse. The disease killed a staggering portion of the population. Some estimates say up to 40%. Within a year, it wiped out warriors, leaders, and civilians alike, devastating morale and the city's ability to defend itself. The new emperor Cuitlahuac, who had successfully driven the Spanish out of the city during the Noche Triste or Night of Sorrows, was himself a victim of the plague. After being expelled, courts regrouped with his Tlaxcalan allies. In 1521, he returned to lay siege to the weakened, diseased. The fighting was brutal and lasted for months. The Aztecs, led by their last emperor, Cuauhtémoc, fought with incredible bravery and desperation, street by street, house by house. But against the combined force of the Spanish, their native allies, and the unrelenting plague, the outcome was inevitable. On August 13, 1521, the magnificent city of Tenochtitlan fell. The fall of the Aztecs wasn't a simple story of technological superiority. It was a perfect storm of political division, shrewd alliances, and, above all, the catastrophic impact of disease. It stands as a powerful reminder of how even the most brilliant and powerful civilizations can be vulnerable to forces beyond their control. The legacy of the Aztecs, however, endures in the art, the language, and the vibrant culture of modern Mexico, a testament to a civilization of genius that, for a time, ruled the world. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey into the past. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Let us know in the comments which civilization you'd like us to explore next. See you in the next video.